Rob Stone, 2 damn phones. Babylons can't crack the code.
Yo, what's up? It's Logan on your boy King Betty, and today we reacting to Logan Paul. I don't watch his videos, to be honest with you. The only reason I'm reacting to this, I don't even know I'm reacting to this. I just saw it pop up on my feeds. I'm like, why not react to it? You know, because I haven't reacted for a long time, so because I never found something to react to. Because you guys don't be telling me what to react to in the comments that much. So yeah, I don't watch his videos. I don't know. I find it kind of crazy, but for some reason I'm watching this one. So yeah, let's get to it. About 800,000 people worldwide died by suicide every year. One person every 40 seconds takes their own life. That's sad. That's sad. By the way, spam up the like button, subscribe.
For 40 minutes,
You know,
crying like a baby. Bikers, joggers, tourists, runners, they went by me. Police officers searching for suicidal people went by me twice. I'm standing at the ledge, leaning over the rail with tears flowing down to the waters. And I thought to myself, absolutely nobody cares. And then the voice in my head said, jump now, and I did.
shit.
And the millisecond that
Suicide is the second leading to
my
cause.
legs flew over it was an instant regret. The depression was wiped from my mind, and all I wanted to do was live, and I thought it's too late.
Kevin Hines was 19 when he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, bro, he was hella
He was one
young
of the many
too.
incredible people that I've been grateful to meet over the past 3
This nigga was mad young, 19, but he's still young. Cause you don't, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be quiet. Cause
weeks as I aim to further understand the complexities surrounding suicide. And I know I've made mistakes. I know I've let people down.
damn, bro.
But what happens when you're given
You
an
also lost a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and also a lot of money. So I can see.
opportunity to help make a difference in the world?
The backlash against the social media star.
Very popular guy called
Logan Paul is in some hot
He's
water.
a complete and utter insensitive idiot.
taking a break from daily
Shit.
Even he says his latest content was his biggest mistake.
I want to apologize to the victim and his family.
It's time to learn from the past as I get better and grow as a human being. I'm
Why do you have a video scene of you washing your hand? I don't know what that's for.
So humbled in my life by a single event. Were you kind of shocked by it? I was shocked to.
He cut his hair. I just speak that.
This is. You've never known anybody that killed themselves? No one. No one. That was part of the problem. It's just my ignorance on the subject. But in Ohio,
Same here too. I never knew one person actually killed himself.
Cause of death. And I know while I'm not able to.
No, but actually, I did see someone kill himself, but like I didn't actually know them. I mean, they killed themselves. They actually jumped out the window. I seen that before.
By myself, I wanted
I didn't really know who
that
she
solution
was.
began across the country in New York City.
You was in New York, bro? I live here. I live in New
We
York.
sat down with Dr. John Draper, director of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
We have to change the conversation publicly from just focusing on suicide and how something bad is
Sorry for that. I'm gonna take that
Say,
shit off
what
right
do
now.
we do about it? Help people understand that the first thing they need to do is reach out and talk to somebody when they're feeling in despair, because you're not alone with it anymore. They've done studies with people who are experiencing any kind of pain, including hanging off a cliff.
But they want my shit. These
Right
I wouldn't play this game like that. Sheesh.
I think as a society, as human beings, we just have to be more compassionate. And that includes me.
So this was what Logan Paul was doing. He was making a documentary about suicide. But hey, I mean, he's trying to help out. He's trying to stop people from killing themselves.
That's something I'm learning along this journey. Something else that Dr. Draper told me were the 5 steps that anyone can take to help prevent suicide. Step 1 is simply just ask. Ask yourself, ask others, are you thinking about suicide? And I know that sounds like a daunting question, but literally that question can save lives. Step 2, accordingly, would be just to listen. Be present, don't make any judgments, and then step 3 would be there for them, even after you've already asked, because dependability is key. Step 4 is then help them connect, whether it's with a friend, a family member, a local suicide hotline, therapist, but help them reach out to someone so they don't have to deal with this alone. Lastly, step 5 is just check in on them, show them that you care, call them up, say, hey, I want to make sure you're okay.
Okay, my bad for that. My laptop died, so yeah. We're back at it again, same place that we left off, and let's get to it.
Hey, can I check in with you over the next few days?
So one of the things that is so important about reducing stigma is getting stories out there about people positively coping with suicide.
Do you guys know anyone I could talk to with the lived experience of suicide?
Absolutely. We have quite a number of
I mean, what about that? Let me stop, bro. I'm being harsh.
And that's how we got introduced to Kevin Hines. 17 years ago, Kevin jumped off of the Golden Gate Bridge and survived.
Shit.
These are individuals whose stories, when people hear them, they say, you know, maybe I can get through. As opposed to hearing stories when people haven't. And those are, unfortunately, those are stories that we've heard before. Now we're hearing more and more stories of people being more open about it. As I was saying,
I wonder how
before,
bad
Logan,
his life
for every
was.
one person that dies by suicide,
I'm
there's
just
287 other people that think seriously about it but don't. Those are stories, again, that have not been told. If we told those stories of people who got through it as opposed to one who didn't, imagine what kind of influence that would have on people's behavior.
When I found out that 1 in 6 high school kids seriously think about suicide, that's
Bro, there was a girl in my high school that jumped out the window, like, real shit with you. Happened last year. She dead ass jumped out the window, and it was weird.
This is such a common
I was
problem.
confused as fuck.
Logan, all I wanted was for one person to look me in my eyes, say, hey, kid, are you okay? I am so grateful to be alive. And I'm grateful today for every millisecond I get to breathe. Because it was almost all ripped from me by me.
What's one thing you would have said to your younger self?
If you never thought that you could be
Kevin
your own
Hines,
weapon, you know.
19, sitting on the bus. If you were next to you, and instead of the guy who pointed and laughed, what would you say?
I would just put my hand on the I would just put my hand on my shoulder and I would just say, I'm here for you. I got you. We need to be a society that comes together for every person in the community that's going through hell. And in order to do that, every person that's going through hell, whatever hell, has to be honest about their pain. And if they're going to be honest about their pain, we are going to collectively answer the call and be there for that individual. Because if you don't see beauty in the next person you meet, you're not looking hard enough.
You're incredible, dude. This is an honor for me.
It's an honor for me too, brother.
I actually heard about his story, but I never knew why he jumped off though.
From this point on, I want to make an effort to contribute and immerse myself in the conversation, so I'm pledging to donate $1 million to various suicide prevention organizations, with the first $250,000 going immediately to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, so they can increase their capacity to help those in need.
For anyone watching, I want you to know you are not alone, and most of the time, crisis passes. So if you or anyone you know feels alone or trapped, I encourage anyone to call or even text the suicide or crisis hotline. Both of those numbers are below, and although this is a tough conversation, it's important because things can and will get better. It's time to start a new chapter in my life as I continue to educate both myself and others on suicide. I'm humbled and thankful to say, this is just the beginning.
I agree with that. You know, I can't lie. I forgive the kid. I've been forgiving him, actually. I mean, it was fucked up what he did, but, like, you gotta get over it. People make mistakes sometimes. And no, I'm not a Logan fan. I don't watch his videos. I find them cringy, like I said before. I don't have no hate against him or nothing like that. But yeah, that's it. If you make it to the end, like, subscribe, you already know the drill, and yeah, this is it. I'm done. I'm out of here.
What the fuck is up, you buttercup? In that blunt, smoking suicide, bloody blood.